From your activities list to essays about your major of interest, applying to college involves lots of writing. This is especially true with the most important part of your application, your personal statement. But what are colleges looking for in this open-ended, two-page essay, and how should you go about writing it? Hi, I'm Alex, and welcome back to College Vine. Today we'll talk about the personal statement, what it is, how to choose a topic, and how to write an essay that wows colleges. The personal statement is your opportunity to highlight any unique experiences, qualities, or beliefs that aren't showcased elsewhere on your application. It's a chance to break away from the data that defines you on paper and highlight who you are as a person through creative writing. Every application system, be it the Common App, Coalition App, or Apply Texas, will ask you for a personal statement. And any college that doesn't use these platforms will probably ask you to write a similar essay of about the same length. Since all of these applications share similar prompts, you'll be sending the same personal statement to almost every college, with maybe a few adjustments in word length. Some people call this your Common App essay, but we call it the personal statement since it applies to colleges not on the Common App. Now, let's start with picking a topic for your personal statement. The first step is to choose a prompt you want to respond to. All of the personal statement prompts you can choose from will ask you to discuss a central aspect of your identity. This could be an interest, activity, talent, or background. It could also be a story of overcoming a challenge, an experience that changed your beliefs, a problem you'd like to solve, or an intellectual concept that captivates you. The best way to choose the right prompt is to brainstorm about the experiences that have made you who you are today. Take the time to jot down any stories or aspects of your life that you'd want an admissions officer to know, or perhaps something that would help you stick out. Write down as many ideas as you can think of and choose the best one. Later, you can match your chosen topic to the most applicable prompt. If you don't see an obvious answer after brainstorming, ask yourself some questions to help narrow down your options. Like, what kind of story do you want to tell about yourself? What experiences, beliefs, or values do you want to convey? Or, are there any extracurriculars or academic interests that you didn't get to talk about enough in your application? Just make sure to avoid any cliché experiences that are common for applicants to write about, like sports injuries or the death of a pet. You'll want admissions officers to remember your essay hours or days later when they were narrowing down students to admit. Another mistake to avoid is turning your personal statement into a resume. It's okay to note any accomplishments that serve as the backdrop for your main story, like a tense orchestra audition, a class you struggled in, or how you learned to code. But you should only include these as a vehicle for the main story. It'll look really bad if your personal statement just reads as a list of awards you're bragging about. Essays in general can help you explain extenuating circumstances or any disadvantages you've faced. So if this is the kind of thing you're looking to supplement your resume with, your personal statement is one great place to do it. While you can make note of an accomplishment that relates to your main topic, your essay shouldn't just be a list of achievements. Instead, it should focus on your values, interests, and identity. Any activities you mention should be in the background of your writing. They're best used as tools to show core aspects of who you are, rather than the main focus of your essay. You should avoid talking too much about controversial political topics as well. Any political views should be at most implied, like based on what extracurriculars you chose or the values you express. Directly stating your political opinions is only something you need to do when it's absolutely necessary, like if you're explaining the dynamics of your politically divided family. Keep the admissions committee's likely views in mind if you do this. Admissions officers at most schools are more liberal than the general population. But at certain schools, like Brigham Young, the opposite may be true. You don't want to alienate or offend anyone reading your personal statement. And of course, you should avoid writing anything hateful or particularly offensive no matter what your views are. Now that you've figured out your topic, it's time to start writing. Here are some tips to consider to craft your personal statement. First, approach your statement as a creative writing assignment. As you're writing, there's no need to follow the traditional 5-paragraph essay format with an explicit thesis. Your story should have an overarching message, but it doesn't need to be explicitly stated. Rather, it should shine through organically. You don't have to weave in analytical jargon like it's a high school research paper either. Instead, try writing in a friendly yet polished style. Think of the articles you'd read in a magazine, like The New Yorker or Lego Club magazine. Those articles are conversational and might even use contractions, but they're still professional and weave in an impressive vocabulary. Our next step is show, don't tell. One of the biggest mistakes applicants make is to simply list their emotions and personal qualities in their essay. If you think you're funny, don't tell an admissions officer, "I'm funny." Instead, make them laugh. This type of thing could work for any quality or story, whether that's always being an optimist or experiencing a bad case of road rage. But while you should avoid just stating your emotions, you do want to make sure your essay includes examples of how you're reacting to the narrative. Using the show and tell method, your personal statement should answer questions like, what did you feel? Why was this moment meaningful? And how did this experience impact you in the long term? And finally, double check your essay for any mistakes. You'd be surprised how often students forget to dot their I's and cross their T's in their application essays. Take some time to review your draft for silly grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, and awkward phrasing. And that's it! I hope this video has made the Common App prompts make more common sense. For more tips on writing your college essays and all your other admissions-related needs, head on over to collegefind.com for blogs, live streams, and our chancing engine, all available when you make a free account. And of course, if this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all our upcoming content. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.